everyone, I'm Grace and I work here at the Downtown Library, and today I'm going to be recommending some good, scary and thematic spooky season books, good for both teens and adults. If you want to check any of these books out, please click the link in the description or go to redwoodcity.org/library. So first up, we have The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. This stars Rin and her siblings, who are gravediggers in their small village, which is a hard job made harder by the fact that sometimes the dead don't stay dead, or at least they don't stay down. It's part classic horror, part fairy tale, and really interesting and well done. Next, we have The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kiersten White. This one's really good. It is Frankenstein, but from Elizabeth's point of view. Elizabeth was the bride of Dr. Frankenstein and also was raised with the family as their ward. So it covers their childhood, their young adulthood, their adulthood. I highly recommend reading Frankenstein either right before or right after you read this, so you get sort of a better picture of Dr. Frankenstein as well as Elizabeth, and to remind yourself that people are always the real monsters. This is definitely gory, but as long as you can handle that, it's so beautifully done. Next up, we have Dreadnation by Justina Ireland. This takes place in an alternate history where towards the end of the Civil War, zombies started to rise. And for some people to remain safe, other people, black and brown people, had to be trained to put down the dead. Justina has created a world that is at once different and all too familiar, even with zombies. Highly, highly recommend, and yes, there is a sequel. Next up, we have Agony House, because what would this be without a haunted house? This is by Sherry Priest and illustrated by Tara O'Connor. Our main character has just moved back to New Orleans with her mom and stepdad after fleeing in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, and their plan is to fix up an old house into a B&B. And things are getting weird. Nothing works, there are weird noises, the floors collapse, and then the voices start, normal haunted house stuff. And then our main character finds in the attic, secluded and hidden away, the lost final manuscript comic of a artist from the 50s who disappeared. It's a mystery, but it also has the horror elements of haunted house, and it's not that scary. I would definitely say you could go down to a 12+ on this one. It's really, really well done, especially since it's part graphic novel, which also really ties in with the comic book storyline. Next up, we have Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This is definitely not a horror book, but it is thematic and it has kind of those vibes. It's beautifully written, so well done. In it, our main character is working really hard to bring magic back to the land of Orisha with her brother and the fugitive crown princess at her side. There is a sequel, it's called Children of Virtue and Vengeance, so the story continues. I promise you might want to check them both out at the same time, just saying. Really, really gorgeously well done. Cannot recommend it enough. And last but not least, we have my favorite horror novel. This is The Call by Peadar Ó Gwilym. In it, we are back to fairies, but these are original Irish fairies. They are beautiful and they are terrifying. It takes place in Ireland, our Ireland, but 25 years after the fairies have returned and cut off Ireland from the rest of the world. So it's very much a story of survival against beings that you cannot hope to fight. It's gorgeous, but it has a lot of body horror in it and various other really well-written scary stuff. So definitely keep that in mind. I actually read it all the way through one Halloween night, started it here at the library when I was hanging out down in Children's because there was no one around. It was Halloween. It was awesome. And pro tip, the word S-I-D-H-E, which means fairy in Irish, is pronounced she. Happy reading.